YouTube? It's Dylan, actually here in the 07 Powerstroke, and talk about it a little bit. So this video will be kind of what I've done to it so far, and talk a little bit about adding power windows and power locks and power mirrors to an XL that didn't come with any of that. So as you can see here, I have the factory door panel. This is the only one I have installed so far. I got the door panels and the motors and all that. I just haven't hooked any of that up to the back doors. Still have to put everything into the passenger door, so I'll videotape that. But as you can see, it rolls down, up, locks, unlocks. I did a lot of research on doing this modification, and I actually picked up some wreck doors from a dude and paid about 200 bucks. But it came with the door panels, the wiring, that was my main thing, wiring, factory motors and lock actuators. So the wiring is pretty simple. You pretty much just need to run power to your windows and stuff like that. And then you just have to hook all the windows up to your main one. The locks are a little more complicated than that. So before I did the factory door locks, I had the cheap aftermarket actuators. I have a auto start in this, so I just needed something, and I got the front doors all wired up. So you need 2 5-pin relays in order to do your door lock actuator. And let me put this bottom piece out. So as you can see, right here is the 2 5-pin relays for my door lock actuators. So one is for lock, one is for unlock, and all it does is send a signal from the switch and the remote start to the power on this, or the indicator wire, and that sends a power to the other one. And all it does is pretty much reverse the ground. I have a bunch of wiring down here. So one modification I did to this truck is a Bully Dog programmer. I really like them. Right now I'm only running the stock tunes that come on it, or pre-loaded tunes. Only because I haven't done any massive modifications like injectors or anything like that, or a transmission. I do have a boost and a fuel pressure gauge. Fuel pressure is very important in the 6.0s to monitor what your system's at. A couple other things is my radio. This is my heated mirror function. I put a little power inverter right here that's hooked up to my first toggle switch, and I move my brake controller over here. And if you're looking at installing a brake controller, the plug is right behind the dash. It's not that hard to find. So a couple other mods I've done. So I have ARP head studs, I have EGR delete, I got new turbo intercooler piping, a new intake elbow, AFE intake elbow. Let me think. I got the 54 volt Thickum. When my Thickum went bad, I upgraded to the 54 volt and did the 50 horsepower tune. I don't know how reliable that is. I haven't got it on a dyno yet, mostly because when you put this thing on extreme, she goes like a bat out of hell, but that transmission really does not like it. It pretty much, how can I explain it? Just doesn't go into gear, especially from first to second. So I try not doing that very often. Got new turbo up pipes because mine ended up cracking. One way to tell if yours is cracked is if you smell exhaust inside your cab. That's what happened to me. I do have an EGT probe that I ended up doing for the Bully Dog tuner. My turbo is rebuilt. It didn't fail or anything. It was running great. I really love the sound of when the turbo barks, which is pretty much getting on the gas and then letting off real fast, and all it does is end up sucking the pressure back through the turbo, which in turn spins the turbo the opposite way. Very, very sexy sound. I really love that sound. So I was just like, all right, well, I'll just rebuild my turbo for shits and gits. I went with a billet compressor wheel and a 10-blade exhaust compressor wheel, or exhaust wheel. I bought it from a company down in California. I'll put a link to their email in the description. I can't remember. It was like Sun Turbos or something like that. So she has the 03 turbo whistle in an 07 instead of buying an 03 turbo, and then you had to buy the mount and do more modification than just buying that single wheel. It cost me like maybe 150 bucks for everything to rebuild the complete turbo, and it's really fucking simple. Only thing I didn't do was I had a buddy who owns a diesel shop up here, and I took the turbo in to get sandblasted or glass bead blasted. I do have a 3.5 inch MBRP downpipe to a custom 4-inch exhaust. Other than that, I have airbags. Obviously, I tow some very heavy loads with this. I actually use it for a truck. So my plans for this will be to build a flatbed. Plan on doing that this summer, because I go riding, snow machining, go out on my Razor, and my Razor fits in the bed of my truck, but it's a real tight fit. I really don't like it. I've smashed my lights a couple times and broke the edges of my tail lights, and I just love the look of a flatbed. So I'll be building that, and I'll have a complete series on the build for that. So it's a F250, so I'm changing the blocks, the leaf spring blocks. So I have 4-inch blocks, plan on installing that here soon. So probably will, shut up Siri. Next video will probably be more about the doors, because I'm trying to get that done before Memorial Day weekend, which is 2 weekends from now. What else have I done to this thing? LED lights, obviously, throughout most of the vehicle. Oh, updated the seat. As you can tell, it was a bench seat. Now it's the 40-20-40 seat. Made a roof rack, which actually saved my back window when I was hauling a load of metal to the recycling yard. some jackass fucking cut me off, and I just had to slam on my brakes, and fucking it broke 3 different straps and came barreling to my window. Another thing I installed, which was actually pretty easy, was this. I don't have a camera hooked up yet, and obviously it's not 71 degrees, but where the sensor is in the engine bay, as long as you're moving, it shows accurate temperature, but if you stop, the heat from the engine will raise the temperature. But it is a mirror with a video monitor here in this corner, and we'll be hooking up a rear view camera when I build my flatbed, because that makes it really nice. Another thing I did was put on clearance lights on the top. That wasn't too bad, but it is a little nerve-wracking drilling holes through your roof. So yeah, I'll be posting a video on wiring up these doors and everything, because I know I did a lot of research and I couldn't find a single post about somebody that has done it. And everyone kept talking about needing a gem module, and which is a Ford module that controls door locks and security and blah 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 blah. Well, I got lucky because this is an XL, so it doesn't have the chip key, it doesn't have any of that stuff. So you can literally just wire it up. All you have to do is have 2 relays for the lock actuators. The mirrors work, the windows work. I was actually kind of shocked at how easy the windows were. I literally hooked up the ground, which the ground for the main harness is everything into 1 wire, and then 1 power wire for the windows. That's it. It's relatively simple. Door panel's a little muddy, but yeah, so my plan for this is flatbed, get the blocks, finish the door panels and power accessories, and I'll show a little bit of the engine bay. It's a little dirty, I haven't got a chance to wash it, so come back, it'll be the engine bay. Right, so here we are in the engine bay. Updated air cooler pipes, intake elbow, also got an S&B intake. It's really dirty in here. I haven't got to wash it since the winter time. That's the downpipe and the updated up pipes. Can't see it, but a lot better. But yeah, so it's gonna be the end of this video. I gotta fix my blower motor. That way I actually have heat and everything. So alright, until next time, bye.